Hello, welcome to my student support system. In today's class, we will discuss about part 1 of digestive system, which includes anatomy and physiology of oral cavity. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button. You will get link of Hindi lecture, or you can visit my channel, my student support system. What is digestive system? The digestive system is also known as the gastrointestinal system or alimentary canal, or sometimes we call it GIT, gastrointestinal tract. This is a vast system and approximately 10 meters long. It travels the length of the body from the mouth through the thoracic, abdominal, pelvic cavities where it ends at the anus. We all cover we will cover it in multiple lectures. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the anatomy and physiology of oral cavity or mouth. What is oral cavity? The mouth or oral cavity is the first organ of GIT. It is surrounded by lips anteriorly, by oropharynx posteriorly, by the muscles of cheek laterally, the bony hard palate and muscular palate superiorly, and by the muscular tongue and soft tissue of the floor of mouth inferiorly. The structure of oral cavity. The oral cavity is lined with mucous membrane consisting of stratified squamous epithelium which contains small mucus secreting glands. The lips and cheeks are formed by muscles and connective tissue. This allows the lips and cheeks to move food and mix it with saliva during and start the mechanical digestion. The teeth contribute to the mechanical digestion by grinding and tearing and cutting the food. This process of chewing and mixing the food with the saliva is called mastication. The roof of oral cavity or mouth is formed by palate, which is divided into hard palate and soft palate. The hard palate is formed by the maxilla and palatine bone. The soft palate is muscular and curves downwards from the posterior end of the hard palate. Uvula is the curved fold of muscle covered with mucous membrane hanging down from the middle of the free border of soft tissue. This one. Posterior end of oral cavity contains palatine tonsils. Here, these are palatine tonsils. Tongue. The tongue is a large voluntary muscular structure that occupies much of the oral cavity. It is attached posteriorly to the hyoid bone and inferiorly to the floor of mouth by frenulum, a fold of membrane. The superior surface of tongue is covered with stratified squamous epithelium for the protection against wear and tear. This surface also contains many little projections called papillae or taste buds. The taste buds contain sensory receptors or specialized nerve endings for the sense of taste. There are four types of papillae on our tongue that are valate papillae here, folate papillae in this side here and here, filiform papillae here, and fungiform papillae, these one. Apart from the sense of taste, tongue also help in swallowing, holding the food and moving the food in oral cavity during mastication, and also help in speech. Next structure which is in the oral cavity are teeth. The teeth are the hardest substance of human body. Besides being essential for chewing, teeth play important role in speaking also. The teeth are embedded in the alveoli or sockets of alveolar ridge of the mandible and maxilla. Babies are born with two sets or dentitions that are temporary or deciduous and permanent teeth. At birth, teeth of both dentitions are present in immature form in the mandible and maxilla. Temporary teeth, also known as deciduous teeth or milk teeth, temporary teeth begin to appear at the age of 6 months. There are 20 temporary teeth, and these are replaced by permanent teeth from about the age of 6 years. They start replacing. There are 32 permanent teeth. 6 are located in the maxilla, means upper jaw, and 16 are located in the mandible or lower jaw. Types of teeth. There are 4 types of teeth depending upon shape and function. Number 1, incisors. The 4 front teeth in both upper and lower jaw are called incisors. Their primary function is to cut the food. The 2 incisors on each side of the midline are known as central incisors, and the 2 adjacent teeth to the central incisor are known as lateral incisors. Incisors have single root and sharp incisional edge. This one. This is root, this is incisional edge or cutting edge, we can say. Next are canines. There are 4 canines in our oral cavity, 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in lower jaw. They are behind and adjacent to the lateral incisors. Their main function is to tear the food. They have a single pointed cusp or edge here and one single root. They have longest root of any tooth. Premolars. These teeth are located behind and adjacent to the canines and are designed to crush the food. There are 8 premolars in the oral cavity. There are 2 in each quadrant of the mouth. These teeth can have 3 to 4 cusps or edges. The maxillary first premolar have 2 root and remaining premolar have a single root. There are no premolars in primary dentition. Molars. The most posterior teeth in the mouth are molars. They have broader and flatter surface with 4 to 5 cusps or edge on upper border. They are designed to grind the food. Mandibular molars typically have 2 roots. Maxillary molars have 3 roots. There are 12 molars in the permanent dentition with 3 in each quadrant. The primary dentitions have only 8 molars. Structure of the teeth. Although the shape of the different teeth vary, the structure is same and consists of the crown, the part which protrude from the gum, white colored, the root, the part which is embedded in the bone, and neck, slightly narrowed region where crown merges with the root. In the center of the tooth, there is a pulp cavity containing blood vessels lymph vessels, and nerves. The surrounding of this is a hard ivory-like substance called dentin. Outside of dentin of the crown is a thin layer of very hard substance called enamel. The root of the tooth, on the other hand, is covered with the substance resembling to bone called cement, which secure the tooth in its socket. Blood vessels and nerve pass to the tooth through a small foramen at the apex of each root. Here you can see the structure of tooth. This is crown covered with enamel. This one is dentine. Here it is the neck. This one, and this is root, and this is bone. Okay. So this is the structure of tooth. This is a pulp cavity. Salivary glands. Another structure in the mouth that is very important is salivary glands. Salivary glands release their secretion into the duct that lead to the mouth. There are three main pairs. These are exocrine glands. The parotid gland, the submandibular gland, and sublingual gland. This is parotid, submandibular, and sublingual. Parotid gland. These are situated one on each side of the face just below external acoustic meatus. Each gland has a parotid duct opening into the mouth at the level of second upper molar tooth. Submandibular gland. These lies one on each side of the face under the angle of jaw. Here. Two submandibular ducts open on the floor of mouth, one on each side of the frenulum of the tongue. Sublingual gland. These glands lies under the mucous membrane of floor of the mouth in front. Composition of saliva. Saliva is combined secretion of salivary glands and the small mucus secreting glands of oral mucosa. About 1.5 liter of saliva is produced per day, and it consists of water, mineral salt, mucus, lysozyme, immunoglobulins, blood clotting factors, and digestive enzyme, that is salivary amylase. What are the functions of saliva? Number one, chemical digestion of polysaccharides, or we can say starch. Saliva contains enzyme amylase that begin the breakdown of complex sugars including starches, reducing them to disaccharides to means maltose. Enzyme action continues during swallowing until it is terminated by strong pH, acidic pH 1.5 to 1.8 in the stomach, which degrades or destroy amylase. Lubrication of the food. The dry food entering in the mouth is moistened and lubricated by saliva before it can be made into a bolus ready for swallowing. Cleaning and lubricating of the mouth. An adequate flow of saliva is necessary to clean the mouth and keep it soft, moist, and pliable. It helps to prevent damage to the mucous membrane by rough or abrasive food. Non-specific defense. Lysozyme and immunoglobulins and clotting factors present in the saliva combat invading microbes. And taste. The taste buds are stimulated only by the chemical substance present in the solution. Therefore, dry food stimulates the sense of taste only after mixing with the saliva. So, saliva also help in taste. Now, overall function of mouth. Formation of a bolus of the food. When food is taken into mouth, it is chewed or masticated by the teeth and moved around the mouth by tongue and muscles of the cheek. It is mixed with saliva and formed into soft mass of bolus ready for swallowing. The length of time of food remain in the mouth depend on the consistency of food. During this process, digestion by salivary amylase continues. Some foods need to be chewed longer than others. And then individual feels that the bolus is ready for swallowing. Then another function is swallowing or deglutition. This occurs in three stages. After chewing is complete and bolus is formed. It is initiated voluntarily but completed by involuntary action. The mouth is closed during this process and voluntary muscles of tongue and cheek push the bolus backwards into the pharynx. The muscles of pharynx are stimulated by a reflex action initiated by the walls of oropharynx and coordinated in the medulla of lower pons in the brainstem. Involuntary contraction of these muscles propel the bolus down into the esophagus. Thank you. You can subscribe my channel, My Student Support System, for watching such videos. You can like my Facebook page. For making your notes, visit my nursing students blogspot.com. You will see the lot of contents there. You will enjoy. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join Facebook group Nursing Notes. Thank you. Have a nice day.